Hello, Brad here, just to say we're super proud that the Friday 5pm podcast is sponsored by the Malt Miller, the UK's best home brew store.
We use the Malt Miller for all of our homebrew experiments, as well as tapping them up for advice and binging on their awesome YouTube channel all the time.
That's why whenever we release a homebrew video, we put a recipe kit live on the Malt Miller, so you can brew with the exact same amazing ingredients that we did. The same ingredients used by pro brewers.
So alongside the Malt Miller's nitro-flushed hops, cold-stored yeast and milled-to-order malts, you can pick up recipe kits for our 5 Points Best Bitter, Russian River West Coast IPA, and now the fastest beer in the world, a hazy session IPA that goes from grain to glass in less than 48 hours.
Sign up to their newsletter at tinyurl.com/Malt Miller to get 5% off your first order. With the Malt Miller's amazing customer service and Johnny's 48-hour recipe, you could order the ingredients on a Monday and be drinking the beer by the weekend.
Speaking of which, it's Friday.
It's 5pm.
So enjoy this week's Friday 5pm podcast. It's Friday, it's 5pm. Start again. It's Friday, it's 5pm, which means that in exactly 24 hours we will be welcoming our Patreons into our first ever fully fledged beer festival.
It's only taken us 10 years, Johnny, to get to this point. But I mean, I don't think we can really express how hard it is to put on your own beer festival when there's only two of you in the whole company. And you've got we're basically doing everything, right? The whole thing from brewing the beers to organising everything, making all of the merchandise. I mean, I've been tie-dyeing t-shirts till 4 a.m. last night. Got up again at I think 8 this morning.
What's going to happen if the tie-dye trend ends tonight? If tomorrow's the first day where tie-dye isn't cool anymore? I'm
going to wear all of them.
Joey from Friend Style.
I don't follow trends, Johnny. I'm my own self-facilitating fashion node. I make my own cycles.
So you'll just wear them until they're cool again, and then you can sell them in a retro clothing store or something like that.
I mean, the thing about cool is it's always cool. It's just if you're cool, you're cool, and if you're not cool, you're not cool. And a fashion thing, which I thought was a bloody joke, actually, when my girlfriend told me about it. She came downstairs and half of her shirt was tucked in and half of it wasn't tucked in.
Wait, which half? Like sideways, backwards, frontwards?
Like you're wearing she's wearing like a silk shirt, like a short sleeve shirt where you button it up. Half of the buttoned up bottom bit was tucked in, half tucked out, right? And I said, oh, your shirt's not tucked in properly.
Or you've accidentally tucked in your shirt, depending on your point of view.
Yeah, or you've tucked it up. But I was like, oh, what's going on with your shirt? And she said, no. She's like, that's called a French tuck. I said, what? She said, yeah, this is a fashion trend.
I thought the French tuck was where it's tucked in at the front and not at the back.
Maybe that's with a T-shirt.
Or maybe I've watched too much Queer Eye.
Oh, you know about it. I've never heard of a French tuck.
Oh, yeah. They talk about it all the time.
I don't watch
what's his name? Tan from Queer Eye is always.
Okay.
He loves a French tuck.
Well, when she explained that this was on purpose, there's a shirt and half of it was tucked in, half it not tucked in, like a flat bit tucked out, one in. I was like, this is ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
I'm not sure that's a thing.
That's a French tuck.
No.
But anyway, so that's what it is. It is. You can Google it. It is 100%. 100%. There's a T-shirt version. There's shirt version, so that made me laugh hysterically when she told me that. And now, do you know what, Johnny? Everywhere I go, I see French tucks.
Right,
and
everybody's French tucking.
I point them out. I'm just like, look, there's another one. There's another French tuck. Because I don't follow fashion, man. I make fashion, my own style.
Do you know how conceited that sounds?
It's true. I've never followed fashion. I always just do my own thing, and that's the truth. But yeah, French tuck made me laugh hysterically when I realised it's a thing that people are doing. What I likened it to was, back in the day, people used to have one sock up, one sock down, and it was like a sort of hip hop thing.
Was it?
Remember that? Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
you say
Not
you don't
me.
follow
This
fashion. Compared to what I follow in fashion, it's You follow fashion.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I've got my own sensibility. I don't follow trends in fashion, Johnny. I'm not a trend follower.
You're a style lover. Was it style is fashion is fleeting, style is forever?
That's it. I'd say I'm a stylish person, but I'm not a fashionista.
Not a fashionable person, right?
Maybe not. No, probably deeply unfashionable. I don't know. But what was my point? My point was, how did we get onto this? I don't even know anymore, Johnny. I'm going delirious from all of the dye that seeped into my fingers from.
Is the dye for tie-dye good for you?
I know. I mean, I wore lots of gloves. I've had so many showers.
Lots of gloves. So you're going to wear lots of tie-dyes, wear lots of gloves.
Yeah. I've had a numerous showers since I started tie-dyeing, because I'm convinced I'm going to touch my face and get loads of like pink or red dye all over my face and look.
I would love that.
Like a weird, not weird, but like I've got paint all over or dye all over my face for the festival.
Yeah, there's no face paint at the festival to cover that up, is there?
And you can't get it off either. It's quite hardcore stuff. So I've just had an obscene amount of face and hand washing, showers and such. But yeah, I'm really excited about the festival, mate. If you couldn't tell, I'm super pumped. It's just under 24 hours. We've been talking for a little while now, and mate, I can't wait. It's so good. Everything is shaping up really well. We've got these amazing tote bags that are full of goodies, to be, a beer. There's a beer in there. Don't tell anyone, but it's to be consumed off-site when you leave. But it's a really exciting beer. And we've got Tony's Chocolonely in the bag, mate. I took a pack home last night because we packed like 100 odd bags yesterday, didn't we, with all of this stuff. And I took a different one back home, which we didn't pack in all of the bags. Bloody hell, it was good. It was like a Maltesery type ball. Some of them Maltesery, some of them with like a sea salt caramel vibe to them. Real fucking tasty.
There you go.
Good.
And then we've got salted peanuts.
Salted peanuts, mate.
Salted corn, the love corn, which is delicious. Great beer snacks.
I went to the cinema last night and I had some of those in the cinema, the salted corn ones. Those, you would think it's like you like a regular ready salted crisp, don't you?
I'm a big fan of the ready salted, yeah.
Sometimes I think it's a bit bland, but it is a good palate sort of neutralizer type thing, and it's very Moorish. The love corn salt flavour ones, I've always dodged those when you see them free at festivals. But I usually go for like salt and vinegar or the barbecue. But man, I had some of those last night in the cinema. They were delicious. They were so salty. The crunch on them is very satisfying. I very much enjoyed it. Do you want
to, if you want a contrast of like how we've divvied up the jobs? So Brad has been doing tie dye late into the night. I went to Costco and topped up our snack selection. So there will be pickled onion Monster Munch. There won't be Orval, sadly, at the festival, but there will be pickled onion Monster Munch and myriad other delicious Walker's flavours. So snack-wise, you people are you're set for life, as well as obviously the pizza and the hot dogs from the street food vans outside. We're going to have beautiful weather, people. 27 degrees during the day. Won't be quite that hot by the time the festival starts in the evening, but yeah. So there are some extra tickets online should you suddenly decide that you want to come because of everything that we've talked about. We should probably announce the slightly bad news, though. And there is an email going out about this later today as well. But unfortunately, our Omnipollo collab is somewhere in the Baltic Sea still.
It's I mean, look, we did go there. We went there at great expense, and we spent 48 hours fleeting visit with Carl and Henok. Made this great beer. Selected some of the most expensive coffee in the world. Really went to the ends of the earth with this, Johnny. And then it's like it basically can't get here in time, which is really distressing. Yeah, it's distressing. It's upsetting, man.
It makes me want to cry a single very lactosey tear every time I think about it.
Yes.
And we can only apologise to everybody that's come to the festival that beer hasn't made it. We have secured some other delicious Omnipollo kegs, and we will be hosting a separate event to launch the Omnipollo beer.
Yeah.
Something pastry related, which might be good news to people that can't come to the festival. You will be able to try that one, and who knows, maybe a couple of the other collabs might still be around. But yeah, tragically, we will have 9 collabs and just one very silly Imperial Stout from Omnipollo. And you'll have our undying apologies about that. So yes, it's been a lot, the festival. We will we'll talk about it next week briefly as we relive it, but otherwise we're basically over the line. And I, for one, am glad that it's happening tomorrow, because it's been a lot.
I was saying, I said to my mum earlier, I was just like, I'm going to be so happy next week when I haven't got to think about festival stuff and like going to pick things up in the middle of nowhere.
I'm literally writing down notes of stuff we've forgotten right now. We're talking. I've just remembered another thing. So anyway, that's going to be amazing. And linked to that was this week's video, which was the first of the collab brew videos. Not the first beer that we brewed, as the second beer? Third beer that we brewed.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
I think it was the third beer that we brewed. And that was the Elusive collab. So we will have videos for 8 of the 10 brews. We're not doing Now IPA because obviously we brewed it a year ago, essentially. It's the same beer. No, it must be 9. We've got 9 films coming out because obviously just meantime. That we brewed last year. So yeah, this was the first one, which we also brewed on the same day that we brewed the Siren beer.
Just because we are gluttons for punishment. Double brew day, double filming day.
And they are only 100 metres apart. It wasn't like we were... Not like a video we've got coming out in a couple of months where we literally travelled to 4 different breweries quite a long way apart. All for one video. More on that. But so it was your first visit to Elusive, and as the video showed, you were quite surprised by the scale of it.
I mean, it's a tiddler. It's a tiddler of a brewery, isn't it? It's very cool, though. I really appreciated Andy and his whole crew. I like their computer game setup. The priorities are pretty good, I think. It just had generally great vibes, and there's some magic within those very small 4 walls, and a very giant check at the back of it.
A novelty check.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great, and just really, just honestly nice. Such a nice guy, such a nice, passionate person who's just sort of like quite quietly making great things for a long time, like 10 years as well, right? Almost, I think.
Well, homebrewer,
sorry,
5 or 6 of them, and then and then going pro and making. I mean, I think it's fair to say it took him a little while to hit his stride, not in terms of the quality of the beer, but in terms of what he wanted to brew. And he's still very open to trying almost anything, as our beer kind of showed. But you know, he's found a real deep vein to mine with. It turns out he is exceptional at making West Coast beer. And I also think great at making British styles and great at making cask beer. And I really need to track down our collab on cask, because I think that's where it's really going to shine. It's really good in can. The aroma of those hops is incredible. We were actually at the hop farm. Sorry, no, they don't grow Mystic at that hop farm, but we were at the Hop Harvest earlier this week. We'll talk about that in a sec. But with the Charles Farram guys, and they were delighted with the aroma that we got out of that beer, because it is like, it's blackcurrant and passion fruit. It's very, very kind of modern, but also very kind of British hedgerowy. It's like, you know, it's modern, but it's got a sense of classic British flavours in it, which I think is where British hops can be very, very special. And it works really well with that beer. I think we could have hopped it a bit further, and I think we could have used a slightly more fruit-forward yeast as well. Like, we went with the USO5 to keep it clean and let the hop shine, but I think it could have done with a bit of stone fruit or more breadiness behind it.
Yeah,
was my only kind of thought.
I thought it's great though. It's got like a real sort of raspberry, like you say, hedgerow kind of vibe to it. Very pleasing. Great colour as well, Johnny. If there's ever a beautiful colour,
gorgeous colour. Yeah, that didn't quite come across in the video because where we were was quite dark in the St Bernardus, guest house. So it didn't quite come across, but I'm sure hopefully there'll be photos of the festival and people taking photos of the beer, and hopefully somebody will hold it up to the sun and show just how gloriously golden that beer is.
You know what I noticed watching us drink out of those little, they were super extra spherical goblets, right? They looked like little Mystic Meg mystery balls, didn't they? Almost. It's like a
they could have been
amber kind of like what are they called? What are the balls called? I can't really think. My brain is so addled.
Which balls? When when Mystic
Zoltar
Meg is using
on the
them.
canners. Yeah, Zoltar's got one. It's like a, what do you even call
an
that?
orb?
Like I don't know what it's called.
A
like
crystal
a mystical
ball?
Crystal ball. It's a crystal ball. You can. That's even an emoji. You can type crystal ball into an iPhone, and it brings up a crystal ball, which I've always quite enjoyed.
The number of times I've wanted a particular emoji that like should absolutely be there. Usually when I'm doing flavor notes for our live shows, and it's not there, but you can have a crystal ball.
You can have a crystal ball, mate. Yeah, big time.
Ridiculous.
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? How some things like that are on there, and like you say, things that you would think are definitely on there and not.
Because when have you ever used a crystal ball?
Like I said,
not in real life, like an emoji.
Not in. Oh, I have used it. Yeah. I quite enjoyed a crystal ball emoji.
Oh, I guess it's just
quite
me.
like sending sort of mystical messages to people. Maybe I'll send one to you one day.
Yeah, you never sent me one.
Predicting. I'm like a mystic, like that Russian old lady mystic with no eyeballs, or Nostradamus, or somebody else. Except I can't. No, I'm not really. I can't say I've predicted a lot. Only that the festival's going to be amazing, and it's going to be full of the nicest people that are on the planet.
I mean, of course it is. They're mostly our Patreons.
Yeah, exactly.
Comments. What comments did you find that tickled, amused, or confused you?
I found this one quite confusing from Dayman. I'm hoping Dayman, the name, is a reference to Always Sunny in Philadelphia. One of my favourite episodes is The Nightman Cometh, which is a musical episode with Charlie Day singing a musical, essentially, with a Dayman and a Nightman. And I won't go into what those two different people get up to. But Dayman says, I don't think I've ever been excited about a golden ale before, but this 20-minute teaser has me hyped AF for it. Can't wait to taste it.
It's the new hype style, golden ale.
Is it?
British hopped golden ales. I tell you, there'll be queues round the block.
It's the new French tuck, mate, in terms of beer.
It's the one sock, one sock up, one sock down.
Oh, it's amazing. It's yeah. It is very good. Sorry, we're taking the piss, but yeah, it's great. We had another great comment from Daikidi Brewery, who I've seen the name before, but I still don't know how to say it. He said, or they said, a very wholesome video. Everyone seems so relaxed. Blows my mind that he can make such beer in such a cramped space. Congrats on 10 years. Really enjoy the combo of Johnny's Ying and Brad's Yang. Here's to 10 more years.
Brad's what?
Brad's Yang.
Okay,
Wang.
good.
I don't know. I had a look at yin and yang, the yin and yang sign. So you are the yin, apparently, according to him, which is the black bit, and I am the yang, according to them.
What's the difference? What is a yin?
Well, I don't want to say because it's definitely not fair. The black one says dark, night, cold, weak, retreating, winter, passive, asleep, quiet, which is definitely not you. The yang is light, day, hot, strong, advancing, summer, active, awake, loud. But what I do think is quite interesting is if you sort of think about the yin and the yang, I do think we balance each other out very well in general. So you've got the black, there's a black half a circle, there's a white half a circle, and then within each of those you've got a dot of the other color, right? So the black is someone has written, here is the bad, that's the black. The white, here is the good. The black dot in the white, here is the bad that is in the good. the white dot in the black. Here is the good that is in the bad. And then the whole yin and yang sign in combination. Here is life. And I think it is a great analogy for everything, man. Like, everything is about balance. Everything is about trying to live a full life and enjoying yourself when you can, knuckling down to the hard work when you need to, and just getting it done, man, to get to the end. And I think together we've gone a long way, baby. And hopefully, as they've said, here's to another 10. Another 10 stretch, Johnny.
I hope Damon knows what he got into there.
Yeah.
Didn't expect a full philosophical derailment from Brad.
No, there you go. Little bit of kind of Buddhist vibes going on.
I appreciate the research you did into that.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's a yin and yang emoji if you're interested.
Right, good to know.
As well. How about you? What comments have you got?
Well, I've got one which I hope is I hope they're being serious, but they might not be. It's England Socks 28.
Oh, yeah.
Says Brad looking good on the cam.
Oh. England Socks 28.
He's saying you look like Zoltar.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I hadn't even considered that as an option, Johnny. I don't think I look beardy enough to look like Zoltar on the can, do I?
Do you know, if ever there's a man that, doesn't follow trends,
Zoltar.
I'd say it's Zoltar. So I think
he's a trend predictor, I'm guessing.
Yeah. And you were making some aspersions as to you being that as well.
Yeah. I tell you, well, yeah, definitely. Yeah. Although I've been saying tie-dye for years, and everyone's like, what?
A bit like me saying lager for years, yeah.
He's got like a purple,
turban.
I call him a Star Trek neck, but like a roll neck.
Oh, right, yeah.
But,
he's got a goatee as well, so you'd have to lose beard,
He has
actually.
got a goatee.
Yeah.
I'd have to lose a bit of beard. He's also disturbingly got no pupils, so he's just got white eyes, which is obviously mystical, but obviously also terrifying. But yeah, I do appreciate that. Thank you.
The other thing that England Socks 28 says is we took an odd route to Siren.
Oh,
which
how? Yeah.
I mean, it depends. Like, not many normal folk would go to the Siren Brewery, which is in a different place to the Siren Tap Room. So
Maybe
that might be why you thought that was
Siren.
an odd route. As far as I know, it's the only route other than walking the road.
He might work there.
He could do.
Well, Siren.
I mean, it definitely felt like an odd route. I'll give England Socks 28 that, but I don't think there's a better way.
Who was it we met on the way who apologised? He said, I do trim the thorns, but they've grown really fast.
Because the thing we didn't make clear in the video is that that's not really the route between Elusive and Siren, because that's only trodden a couple of times. It's the route between Siren Brewery and Siren Taproom. So it is well trodden, even though I managed to get us lost at one point. It is well trodden. So it's an odd route, but it was the right route at the right time for the right reasons, and I stand by it. And I also stand by the idea that Brad needs a goatee and a purple roller neck.
I mean, well, look, I've just produced a purple tie-dye t-shirt range, so they're incoming hot and fresh out Brad's kitchen tomorrow. Very purple heavy, Johnny.
I can imagine.
I got worried, which is why I was doing it till 4 a.m, because I put each t-shirt wrapped up in a like a little, what do you call it, like a food bag, an IKEA Ziploc food bag to stop them bleeding all over my bathroom. And I went back into my bathroom because I thought, I've used a lot of purple and the print is purple. And I picked up the most purple one and I couldn't read the writing.
Oh, no.
I was like, oh my God, what have I done? So I took all of the elastic bands off it, 'cause you have to bind it up so it all kind of makes crazy patterns and stuff. This is at 4 a.m, by the way. Took one out, the one that I thought was totally ruined. Took it out, as soon as I unwrapped it, they're like magic when you open them. It like spirals open, and there's so much white space around the purpley stuff that it looks incredible. And I was like, oh my god, they've worked so well. I'm always amazed. It's such a sort of a wondrous thing to look at. I think when you look at a tie dye, how it's made. I did a couple of techniques. I did a crumple. One's called a crumple, and then the other one is like a twist. And I kind of stuck to those. I really like crumple at the moment. I think it's quite an in. Well, not an in, because I've already said I don't follow fashion. But for me, it's my top of the pops of the tie-dye techniques is a crumple. And I almost, if I had more time, Johnny, I would have tried an ice dyeing technique.
Ice dyeing?
Yeah, you put ice cubes all over the top of your T-shirts, and then you sprinkle dye powder on top of them. And as it melts, it does mad shit. But we didn't have time for that, sadly. Maybe another time.
Who discovered that? Who went?
Hippies.
Yeah, just hippies with too much ice.
Hippies they were just on a trip, I reckon.
Hippies on holiday.
Yeah, they needed to cool down, and they thought, oh, why don't I just cool down my T-shirt with some ice,
and then spill some dye. Yeah, who knows? Cool. Well, I look forward to seeing them. I have not seen them yet. I look forward to seeing them and to seeing people's reactions at the festival. I'm sure they'll all be like, "Oh, this is very on trend," and they'll get the spiel that I've had twice now, that you don't follow fashion, style is forever. So enjoy that, folk. So the other thing we need to talk about this week is the fact that we were in a hop field on Wednesday.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
I got a little bit of sunburn on my bald cap.
I thought you were going to say on your balls then.
Nope, no. That was
so
at no point would they not exposed at any point that you saw. So we were there with Meantime. So this is a little follow-up to our documentary, just a 20-minute episode that we've done with them, because they have brewed, as we've said on this podcast before, a new version of Now IPA. It's going to be an annual release for them, picking a new variety, a new exciting variety from sort of the experimental range from Charles Fairham. So the new hops that are coming through, ones they're looking to get trials off from breweries. And the new one they did was amazing. It was lime and tropical fruit. And really went well with the hops that they chose. So they put it with Olicana and Jester. It's a beautiful beer. So we went and learned a bit about that hop, went to the hop farm where it was grown, explored the nursery where they're growing lots of these new varieties, and had an explore around there with Will, who was in the documentary, and chatted to Sarah, who was in the documentary, about the trials and tribulations of being a hop farmer. And I think she was a bit more upbeat this year. I think I wouldn't say that we've made the difference, but I would say that it's turning the corners it needs to turn.
Seemed that way, didn't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
It really did. I mean, it was a beautiful sunny day again, which is always lovely. But I did seem to be a very more of a cheery kind of atmosphere, I thought, this year. I'm in agreement.
I think the varieties are going well. The demand's growing. Yeah. It was another horrible year because of the climate. And we talk quite a lot about what they're having to do to adapt to the fact that they cannot predict the weather anymore at all. I mean, our festival's a great example. The forecast has changed every single day for the last 14 days. And it's only today that we decided we could put a couple of tickets live because we were certain enough in the forecast. So if you're a farmer who's literally relying on rain at certain times of year, it is a nightmare, or indeed on sun. So we talk a lot about that and what's being done, and that's one of the main reasons they're growing these new hop varieties, because they're less susceptible to disease and they're less desperate for rain, because their roots go deeper into the ground, so they can get to more moisture and stuff like that. So it seems to be going okay, and we need to keep supporting them, which is why we made sure we did. We were going to do 2 British hop beers, as you'll find out next week, but only one of them ended up being British hopped. So we're trying to throw some support that way, and Meantime have done a great job, which is why we were happy to cover it again.
Big time. It was a wonderful trip. We did 8 hours. Well, I did 8. You did 6 hours of driving that day, and I was in the car for 8 hours because I had to drive back from yours. That was a long day, Johnny.
Yeah, and we were there for 4 hours?
Yeah.
So more time in the car than actually in the hop fields.
Insane.
But yeah, it's not. What were we doing today? We said it's not all glamorous, this channel. Oh, that was when we were packing the bags yesterday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Very little of it is glamorous, being a YouTuber. But 4 hours yesterday were. It was just the other 8. But yeah, it's going to be worth it. It's going to be a beautiful video. Lots of great chat. Lots of lovely slow-mo of hops being picked and plucked and dried and all kinds of stuff. So it's going to be a beautiful looking video because we got very lucky with the weather.
Beautiful.
So yeah, that'll be out in a couple of months. We'll use that probably to break up that and another video we've got, which I hinted at, where we visited four breweries in one day, all brewing American style beers. We'll pepper that in with the collab beer videos so that it's not all the same for the next nearly 3 months.
Yeah.
That would be a tad repetitive. So that's about what we've got time for. Brad and I have to now go back to prepping for this festival. So we're going to get on with that. And hopefully we're going to be seeing lots and lots and lots and lots of you tomorrow. And if you haven't got a ticket and you really want to come, there are now a few tickets live. Like literally about 20 tickets have gone up because we can use the big beautiful beer garden. So there are tickets available. There's a link in the descriptions box. If you can't come to the festival, we do have our live show next weekend. There will be details on how to buy that pack soon. You'll have to be quick because needs to be posted by next Thursday. It's all crushed up like a used can, the timings for this, but you can get the tasting box for next weekend's show very, very soon, and we'll be plastering that all over social as well. Anything left to say other than love and beer for real tomorrow?
No, love and beer for real. I would just say also, if you are coming tomorrow, do come and say hello. We are not scary, and we love all you guys, and we wouldn't be able to do this without you. So thank you again.
Yeah, thank you. We'll see lots of you tomorrow. Love and beer. The Bubble and Friday 5pm podcasts are brought to you by the nerds behind YouTube's craft beer channel. You can watch over 400 mini documentaries at youtube.com/the craft beer channel. And if you love what we do, support us via Patreon and get access to merchandise and our amazing Discord forum, a positive and welcoming space for everyone who loves beer, food and homebrewing. Love and beer.